looks comfortable, babe.
I'm known for a good tingler too, right?
Yeah.
Dart's fiddling on his guitar. He's going to open with a song here in just a moment. Oh.
So now?
So now we're going to go to live on Facebook as well.
Yeah,
So,
and there'll be a little bit of delay, just so you know.
yep. Just bear with us.
We're good.
Okay. This is always fun, just figuring all of this stuff out, right?
It's never easy. Technology just,
I know. Every week I feel like we do a little more, a little better. Then Dart and I's thing is we can get all of this part, and then to get back to where we can see ourselves is an interesting little thing. So preparing. There we go. As soon as that says it's good, then I'll come back to you. One second. And okay. Title required. 1 second. I don't mean to be right in your face.
Oh, you're fine.
Just being that we're doing live. Babe? Where's why? 1 second. This just takes a moment.
Go live.
Go live. Okay. I'm gonna have to swap out my chair. I'm sitting on my cajon right now. So yes, it is streaming. Hang on. And then I'll click back over. Okay. No, we're assuming we're live.
Yeah, we are. I mean, but are you in yours? There you go.
There we go.
There we go. That's
go.
what we were looking for last week.
That's what we're looking for last week.
Yeah.
See, every week it gets a little bit better.
Right. Yeah.
And praise God, McKenna is, let's just start out with McKenna.
Absolutely.
Because McKenna is awesome. She'll look at the Q&As and the live feed and answer the questions. And McKenna, we love you. And put your contact information on here, McKenna, so when people need your help, like when you have people like Dart and I, we really need
website,
help.
logos, prayers. So,
okay, Dart is holding his guitar, y'all. So when you're hearing the strumming, he cannot help himself.
Right.
But welcome to Dart and Lisa Mondays.
Yeah, I'm Dart.
I'm Lisa.
Yeah. And so we have a special guest tonight,
Yes.
and we will introduce him in a second. But by request, I was asked to do a song, and I picked out Millionaire, since we're going to be talking about gold and silver tonight. So I selected Millionaire by Chris Stapleton. So we're going to kick off while people are getting on. And
Thank you, Dart. So the webcam kind of hides the guitar, and I'm sitting on a cajon, y'all. So when you see me swaying back and forth because I'm beating on this thing, helping Dart keep in rhythm. Yeah.
they say love's more precious than gold, can't be bought, never could be sold. But like I love enough to share, that makes me a millionaire. Well, I got a woman with eyes that shine, diamond mine. She's so precious, so very rare. She makes me a millionaire. When we ride around this old town in my beat up truck with the windows down, people look at her, then they look at me. boy, sure living in luxury, sweet luxury, because love, more precious than gold, can't be bought, and it can't be sold. Well, I got love enough to share, that makes me a millionaire. When her kisses fall everywhere, like riches on a millionaire. When my pockets are empty and my cupboard is bare, well, I still feel like a millionaire, because love's more precious than gold, can't be bought, it never should be sold. Well, I got love enough to share, that makes me a millionaire. And I got love enough to share, that makes me a millionaire.
Thank you, Dart.
All right, thank you, Lisa.
Yes. Well, so love is more precious than silver and gold, but tonight we are going to talk about precious metals, and we're honored to have you on, Ryan Long from National Gold Consultants.
Right, live out of Minnesota, Minneapolis, and Ryan and I have been friends now for about 10 years. So,
I gotta not sit on my cajon the whole
okay,
time. Sorry.
all right. So to introduce Ryan is that he has been in the precious metals business for over 14 years. Grew up in it, second generation, founder of National Gold Consultants, and I consider him a really good best friend and a brother in the Lord. And so he has been like the most amazing strategic business partner I've ever been around. His clients come first, our clients come first, and he's just an amazing guy. And he has a amazing wife and amazing kids, and so he is a millionaire because he's got love around him in all states and forms. Yes.
Wait a minute, Dart. Did you just want to say about your conversation on the phone with Ryan the other day when he was in his truck and he was like, "Oh, I have to go because I'm carrying a million."
Oh yeah, yeah. $1.5 million in his truck. He was moving his office, so yeah, he was.
$1.5 million worth
Yeah.
of precious metals
Yeah,
carrying around.
Incognito. Yeah.
But,
Make that full screen.
I don't know, but Ryan, would you just start out? Go ahead and give us your contact information right up front, so McKenna could put it in the chat box, and that way somebody could always go back and refer to that. Would you mind doing that before we start asking you all of our questions?
Yeah. Our office direct or my office direct is area code 763-401-7920, or email. It's 2021, right? Email is just my last name and Long, LONG, at nationalgoldconsultants.com. Right. So.
Perfect. Well, Ryan, I hope you're prepared. Well, of course you are, but we have come up with a series of questions that we want to ask you, and most of our most common questions that people ask us, right, Darn?
Right, absolutely. So first off, is like, is why should you invest in gold and silver? As a client was asking me the other day, is it doomsday? Is it, what happened? So why should someone invest in gold and silver, right?
I got the same question today, and again, is it doomsday? I said, well, you're not going to be bartering your silver dollars for a chicken. We're an industrial nation here, so
yeah, that's fair.
But the why should you invest in gold and silver? Over the last couple months, it's kind of been explaining itself. With all of this volatility, this uncertainty, with adding over $10 trillion to what's called our M1 money supply in 2020. By the way, that's of all of the M1 money supply, starting with the Federal Reserve creation in 1913, we've added 40% just last year of our money supply, just last year.
I mean, when you just say that, it's like, I don't think people really grasp what that is. And we talk to clients all the time is that we're in an age that's just never before existed.
Correct.
You know,
it's
never in this country or in this world. I mean, you know, in any economic system. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're in uncharted waters, right?
Yeah.
You know, so the whys of gold and silver, I mean, over the last couple months, the last few weeks, it's been hitting mainstream because it's starting to garnish attention, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get questions, well, what is gold and silver going to get to? I'm like, well, it'll go to where it needs to go to keep up with your current purchasing power.
Right.
You know,
right.
So it keeps up with that purchasing power and plays an inverse role or an opposite role of your financial portfolio. It's insurance. That's really what it is.
Right. So yeah, just explain a little bit, you know, it's wealth preservation, wealth insurance. Give a little bit of idea on that before we jump into the next question.
Yeah, I mean, over the next probably half hour, you'll hear me say wealth insurance over and over again, because it's not about what's gold and silver going to do for me for a return. It's going to have returns, but that just means your dollar just buys less and less.
Right.
So we view this as a seesaw type of a pendulum. So if you've got your financial portfolio, whatever that might be, if it's $10,000 or $10 million, you got to have insurance. So you have your gold and silver on one side, and you have your counterbalance in the middle, and you have everything else you're already doing. What is that? You know, your stocks, your bonds, your mutual funds, annuities, insurance.
Cash-based investments, right.
Yeah. It ensures if those things do poorly, gold and silver does well. It's the beneficiary.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of the inverse to real estate, inverse to cash investments and so forth. So.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people are asking, like, what types of gold and silver should we invest in? They're just
coins, bars,
right?
Yeah. Well, there's a right and a wrong way to do a lot of things in life, right?
Yeah. And usually we find out the right way shortly after we've done the wrong thing.
Hindsight's 2020. You know,
That's right.
You know, we get this question a lot, and as one of the only licensed and regulated firms in the country, we take a one-size-fits-all approach because there's no such thing as diversification inside of gold and silver. Gold is gold and silver is silver. It's that simple. So we have a line in the sand, and we talk about, for your regular money, it's called non-qualified, pre-1933 coins. That's the date on the coin that it's minted. So it's all older than that. And why is that? Well, it's considered a currency. Okay. Anything newer that is considered a commodity. And inside of a commodity, you have a 3-letter partnership, which you like or you don't like. It's called the IRS. They want to track and so you can get taxed on things. So all we're doing is we're converting your dollars, your paper dollars, into legal tender currency. Still, you could still go to Walmart and spend your silver dollar.
Right.
So I give the example. It's like going to the bank and giving them a $1 bill and asking for coins. Right. It's still currency, but in this case, you're into silver and gold currency, real money.
Right. And I'm seeing, what was that date again, Ryan?
Yep. 1933 and older. It's that universal line in the sand.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah. So, so these are like the 1890s and the 1900s, these are cowboy silver dollars that they were walking around with, watch these old Westerns and stuff when they put a silver dollar on the bar and they get a bottle of whiskey, so.
and you still can do that.
Yeah. It's still about the same, you get a handle for $30-something. Or one silver coin. So it's
So, and Ryan, I think is a great question is why National Golden Consultants? What sets you apart from some of the other places that people just see pop up on their ad video?
Yeah. Well, why? Well, the biggest reason is we're licensed and regulated. You can talk about integrity all you want until you're numb in the tooth. But and that's what we practice. Obviously, you'll see this by working with us, but we're actually licensed to do so. So other firms out there, the retail shops, they're there to, and I'm not gonna beat up any company. We're all in the game together, but they're there to peddle coins whereas we're there to solve financial problems with wealth insurance. That's the biggest difference here.
So go ahead and talk about, your advisor network and why you work with us, and from a fiduciary standpoint, cover that now.
Yeah, we solely work with financial advisors, other financial fiduciaries all throughout the country. We work with a little north of about 900 advisors now inside of our network. So we do not have a coin shop or a retail shop with the glass display cases. Like I said, we're there to solve financial problems versus peddle coins. So the benefit of working directly, with you guys as advisors, is you're not only just getting financial advice on gold and silver. It's that piece of that puzzle that you're able to implement to keep that whole strategy together.
Right. Yeah. So how does it fit into your overall portfolio as opposed to just how many coins can you afford to buy?
Correct.
Yeah.
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 Right.
So it's an allocation as opposed to just,
Right. Well, another big question that we get is, do we actually physically get to have our gold and silver? Do we get the coins? Can we have them in our possession?
Yeah. What's the old saying? Possession is 9/10 of the law, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Either you have it or you really don't own it.
Right.
That's something we get asked a lot. So when I mentioned 1933, I mentioned that's your non-qualified, or we call your regular money you can write a physical check out for. Yeah, you're going to get physical possession of it. You're going to actually get the package of the pre-1933 gold and silver. It's delivered directly to you. You're in control. Then nobody else has that claim to it, right? The last thing you want to do is to buy something you have no idea what it is and how to get at it, and it's
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're ensuring that as it's on its way.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That reminds me to a client. And she says, "No, wait a minute. We're going to get a box of gold and silver delivered to our house." And she goes, "Like a treasure chest?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "That's cool."
Yeah, I get stories all the time of individuals opening up their coins, and it's all circulated material. So it's all different. Some are nice and shiny, and some are dirty. You can just see the history in these coins. But for those watching out there that the husband, wife, and married and whatnot, I'll just say this to dear husbands: we open up a can of worms when you want to place an order, because the return address says custom tile and granite. So poor wife wants obviously kitchen samples for her new countertops. So
Right.
Yeah, that's for insurance purposes and camouflage. Yeah,
camouflage is a great word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right. So, So what's the holding period for gold and silver?
Great question. That can vary from person to person. And we typically have that, if you want a finite answer, we say anywhere from 3 to 8 years. And why we have it that type of a range? Well, this is nothing new in the sand. History repeats itself over and over again. The average, if you want to call it recession, occurs approximately every 8 years. Okay, so if we have these recessions, I remember in the beginning we said gold and silver plays an inverse role to equity markets, real estate, etc. That's when wealth transfers from this side of things, the equity world, into gold and silver. So there's a time to be, we talk about roughly 10, 15, 20% of your entire investable assets. And what that does is that's that seesaw mentality to help ensure your other side of your portfolio. So during times of market recessions, is your 10% going to turn into 30? It can. So that's when you start to take some of the winners off of the table. And that's where working with, fellow advisors, we're there to help you understand when that time is to take some winners off the table.
Right. So just kind of put it in framework. So talk about 10 to 20%. So if you got $1 million portfolio, so 10% would be $100,000. So it's an allocation of gold and silver coins. So if it's above 10%, how will you describe that?
Yeah, well,
but why 10%, and then how would you describe it for 20%?
Sure. That 10% is, again, that word I've been saying over and over again, or that phrase, wealth insurance. Mm-hmm. Just like we have health and life and automobile insurance, we hope to never have to use those, but in reality, it's there in case you need to, right? And that same principle needs to be transformed into wealth insurance. Okay.
Right.
So if you're, that you mentioned that $1 million and maybe you only have $50,000 worth of gold and silver, that's like having a $500,000 house and only have it insured for $250,000. It just doesn't make economic sense. Now, when it comes to that, above that 10% rule of thumb, we say anything above that is considered investment. Okay. And we really don't allocate any more than 20% in that given state. So it's kind of a rhetorical question here, Donald.
Right.
There's a lot of storms on the horizon, right?
Right.
Instead of trying to break even at that 10%, personally, I'm above that 10% because I want to prosper during, during these turbulent times.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, Ryan, let's talk about, are there any hidden fees or costs for the consumer that's purchasing the gold and silver coins?
I mean, if you go the retail route.
Good answer, Ryan. Good answer.
So there's your comparison.
We're very different than retail. We're wholesale. We don't, like I said, we don't have that retail outlet.
Right.
We have our set fees, which is just a couple percent above our asking price for how we're able to accumulate or reaccumulate our inventory. So as far as fees go, I mean, there's nothing hidden, and that's the benefit of, even for liquidity, when you're talking to, Donald and Lisa down the road, is, we don't charge any fees on the way out when you want to exercise liquidity, because we need that product back.
Right. So you are our supplier, but you're also is who we can call to help the client liquidate. And there's no fees to sell back. It's like, what's the market rate today? Just like you look at a stock price, there's the bid and ask price and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually appreciate when people want to liquidate right now. I mean, there's, gold and silver have had some runs, and rightfully so. Gold and silver is going to continue to have runs until they solve our debt crisis, until they stop printing money. It's the history of money. So when people want to sell back to us, if they have a financial need or an issue, it saves me so much time. Ironically, do they make a 1933 or older coin anymore? No, they do not.
No. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They're not going to pop back up. Yeah. So.
Right. Well, Ryan, another question that we get a lot is, how do we store our coins? What do you suggest for that?
Again, physical possession's key, in my humble opinion. It's one of those things that gold and silver, these coins have a very high melting point. So you don't need Fort Knox and to have these, giant, safes that are, extremely fireproof. It doesn't matter. Gold is gold and silver is silver. It's still going to be there. So the reality is yes, I like, you want physical possession. If you have a gun safe already, fantastic. If you don't, don't fret about it. I hear stories of individuals, putting in paint cans in your utility room, behind the closet type of a thing. The nice thing about this product is, especially gold, I can fit $1 million of gold right here in the palm of my hands. It goes a long ways, right? Very easy to put it away. I don't like safety deposit boxes. And I don't like third-party storage that I can't get at immediately, because you never know the time when you have that peril event that you need that wealth insurance to utilize.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And especially during this time where some banks have been closed and you couldn't go inside, and then you wouldn't be able to get access to your coins. And so.
Right. Yeah. We've had birth certificates and passports and stuff, and it's like the bank shuffle of the buying out and stuff like that. And in COVID, it's like that branch is just shut down, and people can't, they have a safe deposit box in there, and they can't get, to it
until they can open again.
Right.
Yeah. Now ask me about the IRA.
So so let's cover one quick question about, is gold bars or silver bars, are they good for wealth insurance?
Well, we actually help a lot of clients get out of gold and silver bars for numerous reasons. It's considered a commodity versus, I talk about the pre-33 as a currency. So there's that privacy with the currency that you do not have with the commodity. But as far as bars are concerned, liquidity is real tough. And here's why. You know, if you've ever tried to, go to a jewelry store and trade in, some scrap gold and silver, notice how they give you 10 cents on the dollar, right? And it's not, they don't do this because they're crooks are trying to, get rich with that. It's because they do not entirely know that it's genuine until it hits the melting pot. And the same principle are with these gold and silver bars. I cannot tell you, Donald and Lisa, how much counterfeit we have come across. Me being second generation, I tell you what, I had my baby food next to silver coins. I've seen this over and over again. But it's very easy to replicate, especially larger bars, because all you have to do is plate it with gold and silver, and inside is actually copper, which looks identical to the naked eye.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
scary.
So we're also like the generation that's approaching retirement. A lot of their money is in 401ks and IRAs. So is there any way that they can invest a portion of their IRAs or Roth IRAs into gold and silver?
We do strategy sessions all the time with advisors, and that's another plug for you guys of sitting down with your clients and talking about how we are still in the lowest tax bracket in U.S. history. You saved your entire life. It's the 401k generation. I get it. There are strategies to implement to make sure that you save on taxes, and that's where you guys come into play. But yes, if we need to get to that 10 to 20% number. And if you don't have 10 to 20% liquid, so to say, for non-qualified, well, then we can supplement that with qualified funds. Now, we cannot put the currency type products inside of the qualified funds. And again, you have a silent partner. You haven't paid tax out yet. You haven't bought them out.
Right.
So that's where we put the newer modern coins like the Eagles and the Maple Leafs in an IRA for you. It's physical versus a piece of paper, which we never recommend.
Right.
Absolutely. Oh, good
Yeah.
point. We didn't have that question.
Yeah. So if gold or silver makes a run inside an IRA, that means the IRA balance is going up, and that's always a good thing. And and so it's third party held. It has to be, the IRS wants an accountability of that. So that's we have gold and silver friendly custodians, or they're friendly custodians, and talk about maybe the storage on the commodity bullion side.
Yeah, we exclusively use a trust custodian called Gold Star. They're, I say down because I'm in Minnesota, so they're down in Texas, and they take care of all paper maintenance, all fees, which are real cheap, at $175 a year for all in, including storage and maintenance. Real cost effective. But the custodian that we use, that is third party with us and Gold Star, is the Delaware Depository on the East Coast there. And, I personally have a lot of, my corporation's assets sitting out there as well. It's safe and secure. Believe it or not, every account is insured for up to $1 billion. I mean, they're not small potatoes.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's reassuring.
Yeah. And so whenever, if RMDs are coming due or whatever, we've worked strategies with clients to where that you receive the qualified coins and then you can exchange it for non-qualified dollars. It counts off their RMDs, and they actually get more because of the way it works, and we won't get into the details of that, but we've seen clients make a profit by doing so, just because of the way that the custodian counts the value of the coins. You always give the true value of what the coin is, and can trade it out. So we've had very happy clients for doing these types of strategies, which again comes back to the advisor world. That someone that's advertising on TV to sell into the public, they're not aware of those strategies or purposes or anything like that. So that's to the best benefit of the client, and that's why it's a great strategic partnership that we have here for the client's benefit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Ryan, Dart and I have been on with you with Zooms a lot, but so we were just asking the basic questions that we get most of the time. But is there anything else that you'd like, that we didn't maybe ask you or cover, that you'd like to mention?
We mentioned in the beginning, why should somebody invest in gold and silver? But I'm getting this almost on a daily basis right now of, hey, did I miss the boat on gold and silver?
Oh,
Right?
right.
It's in the news, it's in the media, everybody's buying it. Robinhood traders and all this short-term things and the noise that's happening.
Mhm.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I'm not trying to be the guy that's the cheerleader for gold and silver because this is my organization. I even made another personal purchase again today. It's gold and silver will continue to rise over time
Right.
until they solve that debt crisis and until we stop. I mean, what's another trillion among friends? That's all government is talking about.
Yeah.
It's nuts, guys. If the statistic I read a couple years ago, which just blew my mind. So I'm sitting here just west of Minneapolis. If you stack $100 bills vertically right next to each other, okay, and you have a continuous road from Minneapolis all the way to Seattle, Washington, $100 bills, that is $1 trillion.
Oh.
So when we get so I guess calloused or brainwashed
Yeah.
of just this verbiage, gold and silver, it'll go to where it needs to go. And
Right.
if we're not looking at this as short-term strategies, there's going to be ups and downs over a course of weeks or months. But if you look at this again, that 3 to an 8 year type of a hold, that there's a lot of bright spots for this, which means there's not a lot of bright spots for the other assets.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. McKenna, by the way, would you mind just putting on how to reach us to
Right.
darandlisa.com?
Yeah.
Make it fun.financial.
Right.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
can just click chat with us on there. If this is something that y'all want to talk a little bit more about, a little more in depth, or something particular to your personal.
So makeitfun.financial is our new domain and going to be our company name. And it came from is like there's a study done a few years ago that 70% of the people are afraid to talk to a financial planner. And so this right here is the most fun lady you ever come across. It's like it's going to be fun or it ain't going to be in the room. And so
I hope that's a compliment.
It is a compliment. It is a compliment. And so it's like, well, yeah, it's just like, hey, let's talk about gold and silver. Let's talk about what you need. Let's talk about all things and let's do it in a fun way. And so these are the kind of, it's like, these are the kind of people that we work with, Ryan, and
because we trust him implicitly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's almost a decade relationship.
He's proven himself over and over that no matter what happened, the client's always right and is always made well and made good on it. And, I sometimes end up having to fight for Ryan. It's like, wait a minute. You're being too nice, Ryan. So, but that's the pleasure of working with him. So
you can just tell by his face. He just has that sweet, innocent face.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Minnesota nice. It's a curse up here, everyone.
Yeah. So I have to tell a funny joke on a story about Ryan. So it's about having fun. So
you scared him.
Yeah. So it's in July of 2013. We went to Minnesota for an event and we met Ryan face to face. And my first thought is like, dude, you are way too young because we've been on the phone for about a year talking back and forth with knowledge and everything. It's like, where's your dad? So then we put together a workshop and invited Ryan down and we said, yeah, come on down for Thursday and hang out for the weekend and we'll take you honky tonkin'. And Ryan was looking at Google to what honky tonkin' was. He thought we were going to take him cow tipping or something. So what are these Southern boys going to do to me?
True story.
He had never heard the term honky tonk.
Welcome to Nashville.
That's right. Welcome to Nashville. Yeah.
Well, we have grumpy old men up here with the ice fishing shanties, and I do partake in that. So
right, yeah.
There's that. Everybody has its curse, Donald.
Yeah, I still want to come up there whenever your lake is froze over, and they got the city that's built out on the lake.
Not here.
Oh, huh? No, it's not. It's where Dan used to live nearby. Lake.
Minnetonka.
Yeah, Minnetonka.
Yeah.
Where they have the city on the lake when it's frozen. So,
yeah.
and roads and snowmobiles and everything. So, all right, Ryan, we appreciate it.
Thanks
and always, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon. But
Of course.
If anybody wants to have a chat about this, yeah, you can go to dartandlisa.com or makeitfun.financial.com. And there's let's chat and let's schedule an appointment, and we'll answer all your questions and put a plan together.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan, for just making that seem so simple and easy. I think there are a lot of questions out there and people become overwhelmed, but you have a way of just making that just so simple. I think we appreciate you so much.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on. I really do appreciate it. It's an important topic to be talking about,
Right.
because this isn't complicated. It's a financial piece of your puzzle there, and that's where I'm real thankful for the two of you out there, and to be able to help your clients, because there's a lot of stuff coming. So
Right.
Right.
Simpler is better in the gold and silver world, right? It's like,
yeah,
it's
100%.
right the opposite of the stock trading.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Thank you, Ryan. We'll
All
talk
right.
Thank
soon.
you.
Get back to your
Bye,
family.
y'all. See
Thank
you next week.
All right.
Take care, guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.